The South Korea Africa Summit has kicked off on Tuesday, and it's going to stay for 2 days. And totally 25 heads of African states have been there represented by their leaders, and more than around 48 African countries have been represented in this summit. Hello, I am Mahlet, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent. So now South Korea also need a piece of Africa, and then they have summoned our leaders to see all the capital city of South Korea. Now, three things I want to really look at on this video. Number one, how our leaders say something and you find them doing something else. And I will give you a small statistics, that will help us to compare and contrast between, the African Union ordinary summit and this kind of meetings. And then I will ask you a question before I leave. Now, why do I say our leaders say something and do something else? They talk about so much that it's William Ruto that we have heard actually saying at the Mo Ibrahim Foundation in Nairobi that was October 2023. No, how many years he's in office? October 2022. He said that the African Union is going to stop, this being summoned African leaders to go 2030 or whatever, whenever one country calls for this summit with like Turkey, Africa, China, Africa, and that will be the African Union will represent selected people or leaders or whatever that goes as a team instead of everyone, every member states who wants to go just attending in a disorganized way. But you find them even after he said that Ruto, he has traveled so much. In fact, he's known by Kenyan journalists as the flying man, the flying president, because he's the most ever, traveled president that's sitting in the office. So he holds really the record. It's not for nothing he was called like that. Now, the last African Union Ordinary Summit was in February this year, February 2024, where the African leaders have met. Do you know how many leaders have participated there? It was 25, not 25 actually, about 35, about 35 heads of states. That was the last one. It was notified by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, and of course it reached around 50 when foreign ministers, prime ministers, and others participate representing their leader. So now to see 25 heads of states, it's close to that. So what I wanted to say is that not even to their own summit they come in high number like this, but you find them going somewhere else with those big numbers, just like Ruto filled his delegation in that private jet. These are also, there's a lot of loss it brings. You take the airline, if it's your national airways, and then the delegations, the number of delegation, and this and that. It's a chaotic thing. But in any case, you have seen how much effort these African leaders put to go to such kind of summit, despite what Ruto talked about, that African Union will stop. In fact, you will see Faki Muhammad himself, the AU chairperson, he has participated, and I have seen him in the group picture of the leaders. Now, in total, like as I said, representatives from 48 African countries are attending the first ever Korea-Africa Summit. Now, the two-day talks, which open on Tuesday, are expected to focus on trade, technology, and investment. These are the main areas. But of course, why would why would South Korea would be interested in Africa? Is that because they want access to the minerals and other resources of Africa? In fact, based on this principle, they have signed a loan to finance Ethiopia and Tanzania. Now, Tanzania on its side around 2.3 billions of dollars, which is to be paid, after 25 years or something. I don't know. For Ethiopia, I think 1 billion US dollar. That's what they give him. And instead, in exchange, they will be given a direct access to the minerals of these countries. Whether this is really something that benefits Ethiopia or Tanzania, I doubt it. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, that was it with regards to South Korea Africa summit. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this South Korea Africa summit? What do you think? Africans can benefit from South Korea? In fact, South Korea is boasting about, it comes from the same background as for the West. As for the West, most of them are developed. So South Korea is saying we were also like once called the developing nation, but we are out of that. So we share a lot more than anyone. That's what they're saying. In any case, I was interested to shine a light on how our leaders talk, for example, talk right and walk left. That's what they're doing. So if it was for the African Union, I mean, they should have assigned some people, and those leaders who are selected can participate. I mean, these are some expensive travels. It costs a lot with all the delegation and everything. But yeah, that's what they chose to do. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give it a like if you like what we bring you here. If you want to help us further, you can donate to our PayPal account. Thanks again, and ciao, ciao.